My name is Nannette Levons, and the name of my story is Rain. The story that I'm sharing comes from an experience I had. I go on mission trips to Kenya each year, and this is an experience that I had last year when I was there. I work at a school in a very poor rural village. So this is Rain. I wake up because I'm startled by this sound, and I just listen, and I hear the rain dropping on the roof, dancing, pelting the ground, and I'm excited because we have been praying for rain. It was so dry and so hot, and rural Kenya was experiencing a terrible drought. And I would watch the cows as the guys would take them out, and they were so thin, their skin sticking to their bones. There was nothing for them to eat. All the grass and all the vegetation was all dried up, sun-scorched heat. It was terrible. We'd been praying for rain, and now finally there was some rain. In the area Gwasi where we go, they only have one rainy season a year usually, and it's from March to May. And the farmers were expecting that rain to come, but we had been there weeks with not a drop of rain. So when I heard that rain, I just wanted to get out of my bed, even though it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just wanted to dance. But I didn't. I just stayed in my bed, nice and comfy, cozy, and I just listened. And for me, it was the sound of hope, because I knew that for the farmers, this would give them an opportunity to begin to plant their crops. And even though it was really dry, really dusty, everything just sunburned, it was still quite beautiful. There was a plateau that stretched from one side of the valley to the other, right in front of Village of Hope. And it wasn't the beautiful green that it would be when it's really wet, but it still was beautiful, even though it was dry. And so I just couldn't wait to get up in the morning and see, did anything really change? So I finally fell back to sleep as the rain settled down and it got quieter. And I was just excited to see what I would see when I got up in the morning. So I woke up the next morning and I quickly dressed. I came out into the dorm and the girls had already left for school. So I grabbed a chair and started to walk to the front door and to the deck. And as I got to the deck, I could feel the difference. It was just very moist and damp. The air felt cleansed. It felt clean. And I just went out and set my chair down and sat down, and I just closed my eyes because I could hear it just sound different. As my eyes were closed, I could hear the farmers with their oxen. I could hear them shouting in Kenyan some Luo command. I didn't know what they were saying. I could hear the bells of the cows. I could hear the whip that I didn't like hearing so much. And as I opened my eyes and looked across the horizon, I could see just scattered all across the valley were just several farmers plowing with their oxen and just getting their fields ready to plant millet, to plant sweet potatoes, to plant sorghum, and just to get their ground plowed and ready. And as I was looking across, just all of a sudden, on the other side of that plateau, I could see some children, and they were dressed in navy blue and lime green, which are the colors for our school, Village of Hope Academy. And they're coming down through these 2 mountains, down this pass, looking like little ants trailing down. And it was just exciting to see that they would not have dust kicked up this morning. When they got to school on this morning, they wouldn't have dust all over their clothing and all over their shoes. They wouldn't be coughing from all the dust being kicked up as they walked along. But they would still be clean, nice and neat as their moms had dressed them to get ready for school that day, their heads clean shaven. Even the girls in the rural villages have to have their heads shaved, because most of the homes do not have running water. They are 2-room huts. There's no indoor plumbing or anything like that. They have to go to Lake Victoria to get water. So I'm pretty sure that's why they have to keep their heads shaved in order to just keep them clean. And I just watched them trailing down through that path like little ants. And then all of a sudden, this flurry of yellow, gold, and black caught my attention. And they were the most beautiful birds. And they were dashing back and forth from this fence to these kale plants in Luo called Sukumawiki. And those poor kale plants, they had been so dried just the day before. And they had been so bent over. But today they were standing tall, their leaves were open, and the birds were like playing follow the leader, going from the plant to the fence, one following the other, just a whole bunch of them, just in a flurry of gold and yellow and black, just so beautiful. It was just so cool to just sit there and just watch them enjoy, just and watch their dance, their delight. It was a beautiful morning. And as I was watching, I could hear some kids calling to me from a different section, and they were some other children walking down another little goat path, and they were going to the local school. They were in their light blue uniforms, and they were waving to me, and I waved back, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna try a Luo hello. And I say, oya ore, and they laugh because they think I sound silly. I get that a lot. But it's funny. I don't mind trying. And then as I turn my gaze away, as they disappear down the path, I see another line of just beautiful white birds just against the green plateau. They were amazing, just flying and just enjoying being in that cool, beautiful, cleansed air. I looked at the little huts that were on top of that plateau. They have these little silver roofs that look like little China hats. They look clean and cleansed as well. And I just sat and just enjoyed it, just took that moment to just take it all in, feeling blessed, feeling grateful for the villagers and the farmers who really needed this rain, this sound of hope that I heard in the night. And I just sit a few more minutes and just enjoy it before I have to get busy and go start teaching a class with the kids. And as I get up to go on my way, I just say another prayer of gratitude.